The final fight of Season 1 begins. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host, Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 18 of Dr. Stone. Don't know. For the split a second there, it kind of escaped my mind. I don't know why. But yeah, episode 18 of Dr. Stone. And yeah, this is like the final arc of the season now. It's going to be interesting to see how this closes out. I assume we're not going to get into the fight right away because we've still got a number of episodes to go. So, I assume we're going to start prepping for it. Getting everything ready, everyone training up and getting, like, you know, introduced to science a lot more. I mean, they're all for Senku as the chief now. After he healed Riri, it's like... Ruri? Not Riri, Ruri. After he healed her, though, it's like, yeah, they're all on board with this now. So, they're going to listen to him. They're going to, maybe a little, you know, cautiously, but still, they're going to learn about this science. And so, that's what we're going to have to do. We might start checking back in with Tsukasa and the others now, though. But yeah, the confrontation... I think is maybe still a good, maybe 2 episodes away. Probably episode 20 is when that will happen. But we'll see for sure. It could even be 21. But this is definitely what everything's kind of been building up to. This last arc was pretty damn long, took up the majority of the season, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what it did and how it closed out. A lot of big information learned. And a lot of things left unlearned. Just undiscovered for possible future revelations. So, I'm definitely excited to see where this continues to go. Now... I don't know exactly what to expect from this big battle that's to come, but like I said last time, my thoughts are simply that it's going to have to end in only one of a couple ways. Either Tsukasa would have to die, which I don't think is going to happen. Tsukasa would be reformed somehow, or the Kingdom of Science would escape and relocate. I don't see that happening either, though. Everything is set up for Senku to win this confrontation. So I feel like because of that, reformation has to happen, right? Because I don't see Tsukasa and them retreating. I don't see that happening. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. Things could go in a completely different direction that I'm not thinking of, but I also don't know how they would, like, reform Tsukasa. Like, yeah, he's not... I've said this before. He's not a bad person. Like, Tsukasa is a genuinely good person, but his twisted morals and his twisted desires for this new world are the one thing that's kind of, you know, holding him back from truly showcasing his best qualities. And even Senku himself admitted this. So, the possibility for reformation has always been in him. But he is so dead set on this because of the issues from his past with his sister and that asshole on the beach. Which, mind you, that asshole is dead now. Like, he like, destroyed that statue. Knocked off the head and everything. So it's like, no matter what, that guy is not going to be revived into a living person. But still, it's like, he hates all of adults because of circumstances like that. And it's the blanket statement that is also just not the best. I don't tend to like blanket statements like that because it's not true. Not every person, not every adult is bad. Not everyone from any group is inherently bad. There's a lot of circumstances that go into things that you have to take into account. So, yeah. It's just going to be a matter of how this handles this if he is reformed. But then where do we go from there next? Like, I mean, there obviously could be others, like, alive in the world. It's possible. It's absolutely possible that others could have revived. Honestly, assuming that these are the only people in the world that are, living in this stone world is, like, conceited as fuck. That is just, no. It's just almost not possible that they would be the only people living in the world currently. Like, the amount of people that would be living in the world is exceptionally small. The percentage would be like maybe 1% of the entire world's population from when they were frozen and everything. But still, it's like there's still definitely going to be a lot of people around the world in various places here and there who have revived. It's just going to have happened. So, yeah. I'm definitely curious to see how this all goes down. I'm really unsure of how this season is exactly going to end and then where we go from here. Obviously, learning about what caused the petrification and everything is kind of endgame stuff. That's going to be like final season. So I'm not expecting any information on that yet. Or in season 2. But I'm just wondering, like, what next? I do know, I think it's season 3. I do know that one of the future seasons, it would have to be season 3, because season 4 is the one that's coming soon, and that's going to be the last one. But yeah, season 3 is the one with the boats, right? Because I know there's a season that's all about, like, sailing out and discovering, like, new lands and seeing about other people being alive or whatnot. Something like that. I know there's boats and shit. So I believe that's season 3. I believe it's the most recent one. And so that can definitely lead into some interesting stuff for a full season. But it's like, what else do we do besides that? I'm just wondering. I'm just, throwing things out there and thinking about it. Obviously, do not tell me. Do not spoil anything for me. Do not even tell me what I'm right about or not with the entire ship thing. Don't even tell me that. I want to remain as spoiler-free as possible going forward. Because, yeah, after we finish season 1, we are going to be taking a break, but we will be coming back to season 2 in the future. As quickly as I possibly can, but we want to get to some other stuff too, for sure. Especially since we didn't take a break during this season. Because I've just been very into this series, more so than I expected. But anyway, we should probably get on with the reaction. So for now, let's get this started. Yeah. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, yeah, I didn't expect the attack to start already, but it was through an advanced guard, a recon squad sent to not only find out what's going on, but possibly get the upper hand early with a surprise attack while they're in the middle of, you know, celebrating and partying. They've probably been there for a little bit, or at least maybe a couple of them have. And yeah, it was definitely understood that they would attack when it was least expected. So they definitely had the right idea here. Even though a lot of them seem to be just kind of brainless meatheads, they did have Gen working with them at the moment, as well as this new character, Hyogo. So Hyogo, we don't really know anything about at the moment. He's kind of a mystery. But what we do know is that dude is ripped as fuck. Like, dude is absolutely yoked. But he's also very smart and values properness. And this is a trait I've seen in like other things. I just can't think of like off the top of my head what else it was in. But I've seen like other things here and there where like a character values those kind of traits and everything. It's like, oh, you're being very proper and everything. It's like, I like that, even though like they're enemies and whatnot. I think maybe Hisoka in Hunter x Hunter maybe had a little bit of that going on. But there's other characters too, either way. But the idea here, of course, is that he views propriety as being like, you know, intelligent, clever, using your surroundings to your advantage, using other people around you to your advantage, stuff like that. Just basically being intelligent and using that for battle and for strategy and for planning. And he's seeing that a lot in Senku, he's seeing that in Gen, and he's acknowledging how proper they are in their wit and battle prowess. So, when I was watching, I thought that Gen had, like, made the cuts and everything on the spear, on Hyogo's spear beforehand, but I think he was, like, loosening things, and he actually made the cut after. I think when he got the little knife from Suika, that was after he had already messed with the spear. And so he actually did the cutting at that moment, like right when the spear was being, you know, broken. But it was because of him messing with the spear beforehand that he knew where to cut it. Because he was, like, messing around with, like, the tape or whatever, the binding that was connecting it. He was seeing where each piece connected. So he knew exactly where to cut in that moment. And Senku calling him a swordsman with that little dagger is funny. But we actually do get some swordsmanship because we have Japanese katanas being made. Katanas are one of the most notable swords in the world. Even Senku talks about that in this episode, being like extremely strong and useful, and just how they're made and shaped and everything. And yeah, katanas are known for that in real life too. So I like that they included that in here, and just also using katanas is pretty badass. It pretty much always is. I also like the way they strategize there with them. Magma going for the frontal attack while Kinro launches Kohaku into the air to go from above. I think that was I think that was just really smart, really cool. A great idea. I also like the bluff with the fake gun. I think that was just a really clever, fun idea. And it did work. That's the thing. It absolutely worked, which surprised me a little bit. Because it made sure to show us that Hyogo is smart beforehand. Yet he still fell for it. He still believed that that was a thing. They absolutely fully fell into the trap. Now, another thing of note is going back to Gen. I know I'm going completely out of order with everything here, but deal with it. I'm going according to my thoughts and where my thoughts are leading me. Going back to Gen, it is now fully known that he is a traitor. He is completely sided with the Kingdom of Science, which we knew already. But Tsukasa and his empire didn't know yet. But they absolutely know now. It's just, it's out in the open. It's not being hidden anymore. He's not acting as a spy any longer. It's fully out that he is completely switching sides. And so that's going to be pretty interesting to see how Tsukasa reacts to that. He probably expected it, honestly. It's fully within Gen's nature, and Tsukasa, again, as I said before, is smart. So, I think he'll have expected that. Now, he's also going to have full confirmation that Senku is alive, because he clearly anticipated that he was. He clearly understood that that was, like, very, very likely, but he wasn't, like, it wasn't confirmed for him. That's kind of why this advanced guard was sent out in the first place. That was one of the big reasons one of the big things they needed to know. They needed to confirm Senku. And I think the reason he did this was because, one, as he pointed out, Gen didn't have the knowledge of the body and like evidence of Senku's death. And also, I just don't think he trusted Gen. I don't think Tsukasa trusted Gen there. And that's why he sent out Hyogo's squad to confirm things, as well as have a bit of recon and advance attack. Now, where this is going to go from here, I don't know. I feel like it could go a number of different ways, so it's pretty interesting that we're like really kicking this off this strong. Like, on top of the katanas and everything now, Kinro also has glasses. Everyone's working together excellently. Everyone is following Senku as well. Magma is kind of a little bit of a holdout, but he is cooperating with them for his own reasons. He's still kind of being a meat-headed jerk, but he's at least cooperating for now because he wants to keep the village safe so that he could eventually become chief himself. That's still his goal. I don't think marrying Ruri is like kind of like part of it anymore, though. But he definitely still wants to become chief. It's gonna be really cool to see how this continues to evolve as a series. But again, it's also just really cool to see how these characters handle these different situations. How Senku leads them, especially right now. I think we're going to get a little more of Hyogo next episode, but we're probably going to, like, have them retreat for the time being. As for what's going to happen after that, I don't know. So, we're just going to kind of have to play this by ear for the moment. But even if they retreat, Senku and them will continue to get ready for when the next attack comes, because Senku will understand completely that that is just a herald of things to come. So in the meantime, yeah, I really, really liked this episode. Tell me what you thought down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.